Guys, what's going on? It is Ash here coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends. Today we have a good video. Yesterday's video we had a shard opening, and I'll tell you what, it wasn't the best shard opening in the world, guys. But the good thing is in just a few days here, those of you who had already been playing for 90 days before the last patch will be getting a Dark Elhain. By the way, in 180 days, we'll be getting the Skyle of Drakes. She looks like a really cool champion, a legendary, with a stun and a 2-time hitter on the A2 and the revival on the A3. But back to Dark Elhain. Dark Elhain's really cool in her own right. I have her critting for around 100,000 on an AoE attack. She definitely hits well and her damage scales well, despite her base stats. Let me go ahead and pull her up here. Despite her base stats being really average at best, right? So here she is. Base stats 1365, 804, and a 1700, even the 94 speed are all like leaving a lot to be desired, but the good news is she's still really strong. Her skills, like I mentioned, they scale pretty well on the A1, decrease targets max HP by 30% of the damage inflicted. Those decreased targets max HP abilities are just, you know, they're just kind of meh. They're not awful, and she still hits really, really hard. The good news is the scaling, as I mentioned, is really good, the multiplier on the A1. So she hits hard. I'm going to say, you know, against like a trash mob in a level 20 dungeon, she's hitting for around, she's critting for around 60k on the A1, not too bad. In the arena, she's consistently hitting for around 25k on the A1, depending obviously on all the parameters, who we're attacking, etc. That's without debuffs too on the enemies. So on the A2, I have, and granted, I have her built out with a lot of crit damage as well, so take that into consideration. 50% increased attack buff on this champion for 2 turns, then attacks all enemies, has a 50% chance of placing a 30% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns. And this hits really hard too on a 3-turn cooldown when booked out. The good news too is that she is relatively cheap on the books, right? Because these are just passives down on the bottom, we'll talk about in a second. But all it is 6 levels on the A2, and then 5 on the A1. That's it. So it's really, compared to a lot of epics out there, she's not a huge investment in terms of books. Once you get this cooldown, you can kind of just stop on the A1 as well. You don't need all that extra damage really on the A1. So on her passives, Lethal Winter fills this champion's turn meter by 25% and instantly activates the Death's Majesty, her A2, whenever this champion or an ally receives a freeze debuff. So she is anti-Torment Arena, has her written all over it, and it also makes her pretty good again for Ice Golem, right? Veins of Ice is the other ability, instantly removes any freeze debuff on this champion and replaces them with a 30% crit rate, crit damage, and a strengthen buff whenever an enemy places a freeze debuff on this champion. So there you have it. That is her kit, guys. In terms of masteries, I decided just to go straight out and end with crit damage, flawless execution. Again, I've mentioned it a few times before, but my artist told me about 2 or 3 weeks before this overlay is fixed up. So I apologize, but I will pull it down for you guys, and you know, it's gonna look pretty ugly, but whatever. So this is how I kind of have her masteries built out in right now. I kind of went in this direction just with Blood Shield and Kill Streak. And then she's really solid with Retribution, having that chance to counterattack, given that her A1 hits pretty hard as well. So you can build her out in support if you want to go ahead and get that extra accuracy. Make sure that she's landing those decreased speeds, but for me, I strongly prefer going on the defensive tree along with the offense. You can also go War Master on her as well. So you have some options with, and you know what? Honestly, you can go with Helm Smasher. Is that the name of it? Helm Smasher. 50% chance of ignoring 25% of the target's defense. So you have some options definitely on Dark Elhain. So that is her kit here. We'll go ahead and give her our reviews in a second, but here's how I built her out, guys. She does well with Savage and with Cruel gear, so ignoring target's defense is really solid, especially for the arena. I have my Soulbond Bowyer built out with all my best Savage gear, so I didn't want to switch it all around because I plan on doing a video with Soulbound and Platinum Arena really soon as well, so I just didn't want to spend, you know, a few million silver. So anyway, here's the gear that I have on her. I'm going for as much crit rate as I could, anywhere that I could get it because I really wanted to go crit damage on the gauntlets. So I went crit damage on the gauntlets. If you can't get that crit rate close to 100%, I would just go crit rate on her gauntlets. Otherwise, you're prioritizing the attack percentage, crit damage, right? So crit damage really important on her. So as much crit damage, as much attack percentage as you can get, while keeping that crit rate close to 100% is where you want to go. Now for dungeons, you want to put speed boots on her. I told you that I decided to go with the attack boots just because I want her hitting really, really hard as my main and only nuker in the arena comp that I currently have her in, which we'll see in just a moment. So I went attack percentage, but again, this is really arena specific. I would go speed on the boots otherwise. Now on the chest, again, I went attack percentage, but if you're having problems with her dying in Ice Golem or anywhere else you're using her Dragon's Lair campaign or the keeps, then you can definitely switch to a defense percentage on the chest plate, okay? In terms of other jewelry, I definitely want to go crit damage on the amulet. I went attack instead of accuracy on the banner, but you can go resist, you can go accuracy would be ideal with a decreased speed, but for me, that's not really the utility I'm trying to get out of her. I want her to kill the entire team in the arena in one shot. So the decreased speed is going to be irrelevant to me. So I went with the attack banner, the rare champion that I went with the attack banner. And that is how I have her built out, guys. Ice Golem, she's great. Campaign locations, she's great. She's really good. Arena offense, she's great. I'm going to give her a 5. I mean, you're not going to see her in Platinum necessarily, but still, she's a great part of a speed nuking comp. She can be your main nuker just like the regular Elhain can. Clan Boss. Clan Boss. I don't know why she has, you know... Yeah, I don't think she's going to specialize in Clan Boss. Fire Knight... Go ahead and put her at a 2. I mean, she can help with the waves. If you're having problems getting through those trash waves, go ahead and use her. Otherwise, that's not where you're going to be looking to use her. And then everywhere else, she's really solid, right? Spider's Den, even. I'm going to give her a 5 because of the AoEs, right? So in all the keeps, I'm not going to rank her, but she's a 5 everywhere. But in terms of spiders, rather, she can really help you a lot. I wouldn't say she's a beast for Spiders 20 necessarily, but Spiders like 12 through 17, she can be really, really, really key to your team in terms of just killing all those Spiderlings. So it just depends on where you're using her and in the composition around her, as with every champion. So I'm going to go ahead and start out just in the campaign, just kind of show you how she does on waves, how much she's hitting for, right? So stage 3 of Brutal, we're going to go ahead and take her in solo and just kind of see how she does. Going to be on auto attack. This is her A3, or A2 rather. So 84k I saw as her highest there on that first shot. On her A1, 44k. And then it will decrease the max HP by 30% as well. I have her built slow here, so everybody's going to take their turns. 47k on the A1. Here we go on the A2 again. 96k, not too bad, right? I told you, I've seen quite a few times her hitting over 100k on that AoE. So 100k on an AoE against trash mobs is actually really, really solid. That puts her up there with, you know, some of my legendary AoE nukers, just for perspective. So there you go. That's her in the... I wouldn't call her a solo speed farmer, but still definitely incredibly good in terms of those AoE attacks. Can put her on a really fast silver farming team. Anyway, let's go ahead and move into arena with her. So let's just kind of just start at the beginning here. And this is the team I'm kind of using her with right now. It's solid. It's a little redundant to have the increased attack on 2 champions. She's my only damage dealer really on this team. So let's go ahead and see how she does here. So what we're going to do is she's going to be, when I say only damage dealer, I pretty much mean it, right? We're going to see why in just a moment here. So we're going to put everybody to sleep, do a little bit of damage with Kaimar. And then we're going to put everybody defense down here. And then she's going to go. It's going to be her turn. So let's see how much damage she does here. Should be a lot. Boom. 50, 60, something else. Either way, it did pretty well, right? So now we can just kind of finish things off on auto. We'll go down. We'll do like 3 or 4 arena battles, and then we'll take her into Ice Golems. Because I think that's the dungeon that's going to be attractive for a lot of you guys, on top of campaign. Definitely can get by. Like, you could use her and Elhain as kind of like your 2 nukers, and then 1 debuffer and 1 support if you wanted to, if you're still kind of trying to get through Nightmare and campaign. Let's go ahead and try this team out. So that should be fine. Even though we have a negative affinity matchup on a couple of these, Mountain King and Brachus. We're going to go ahead and start there. Going to go ahead and land at least the decreased turn meter, if not the provoke. Let's go ahead and see 2 resist there, as expected. This should land fine. That's decreased attack is going to help us out a lot on Mountain King and Brachus. They're both really heavy hitters, and they both stay alive here. So if we can survive the next few seconds here... Okay, she's going to die. Counterattack proc, that's the good news. Bad news is she died. And everybody's going to die to Mountain King. Let's go ahead and steal those. Oh, my bad. Didn't notice that the fear was on there. That was a bad move on my part, but I think we're still going to be just fine in this attack, in this battle, rather. Let's go ahead. You got to keep in mind, though, that Brachus will revive himself on his Beast mode passive. Let's see if we can go ahead and at least decrease turn. We didn't. So here we go. And there he goes, revived, and he gets to go again after he's revived. That's never fun. Let's go ahead and finish off Mountain King. And then, so she went down pretty early there. She is squishy, but either way, we're still able to overcome this. And partially that was because of the negative affinity matchup, like we said, guys, because Kymar wasn't able to land his sleep, which was key here to prevent them from going first. Or actually, it didn't even play out that way, did it? She went before them anyway. Okay, let's just keep it going, guys. I want to see how much she can hit for. I want to clean sweep the entire team dead in one shebang, right? So let's go ahead and hit there, land that provoke, take away all these shields. We've got 1 resist there, again, the negative affinity. But now we remove it, and here we go. Let's see at least 3 deaths here. Boom. Okay, there we go. I didn't even see what the crits were there, but it was a lot. I mean, she can nuke. She can nuke. Let's go ahead, put her against another nuker here in Ethos. This is a much tougher team, but let's just see how we do, guys. Who cares? Worst that can happen is we lose. And let's see. So let's go ahead and try to stop that Arbiter from getting her thing going. At least decrease that turn meter. Let's put her to sleep. Everybody's sleeping. That's what we like to see. Now we do this. Perfect. See, this is exactly how I want it to be going here, guys. And then let's... Oh, man! All dead. You see, Dark Elhain is not bad. Put out 140k damage there against that team of all legendaries. A couple void legendaries there too. So guys, there she is. She's really, really solid in arena. I like her a lot. You know, she can be your main nuker and you have nothing to worry about at all. Let's go ahead and show her in Ice Golems before we end out this video. So here we go. I'm just kind of testing around with a bunch of different teams. I'm going to put Bad L because I need a little bit more healing. Actually, it goes a little bit faster with Bad L in here, even over Allure. So here we go. She's going to be her and Biggin are going to be the main damage dealers. The only problem we run into is the team will survive. They won't die. But when we run into Ice Golem, it's going to take a little while to actually take Ice Golem down, considering our only 2 damage dealers here for the most part. We have the poisons from Bad L, and Bad L will actually put out a lot of damage, but it's just AoE. We're looking for crowd control, or not crowd control, but crowd nuking from Biggin in Dark Elhain. So they're serving kind of the same purpose, and because of that, it's going to help us get through these early waves relatively quickly. But then again, it's going to be a little slower, bit of a grind when we get to the Ice Golem. I think it's going to be around, and I'm actually not even seeing how much she's nuking for compared to Biggin. Biggin I have built out with my best gears, so, you know, you can compare the two, and he is a legendary, but, you know, just take that into consideration. So here, 105, 102k damage, not bad at all, and here we are at the Ice Golem in about 44, 45 seconds or so. So now we have nobody who cancels revive on this team. Unfortunately, usually I run Inithwi or Foley in this team in place, excuse me, of... oh, she died there. Wow, how about that? Well, that was unfortunate. That was really unfortunate. It was before we could get the Ally Protect. No, we did have Ally Protect up and everything there. It's weird, actually, in preparation for this video, I ran about 10 to 15 of this exact comp. She never died, but, you know, I'm not going to edit out or anything because I want to be realistic. So that was unfortunate. Hard to see how much damage she's going to put out on Ice Golem, and hard to see her reacting to those freezes if she dies. But either way, you know what I'm going to do? I'll restart the run. I'll finish this, I'll edit out and restart the run when we get to the Ice Golem. Alright guys, we are back. Same time, 44 seconds. Let's see if she dies again. I feel like I'm jinxing it while I'm recording here. But either way, 57k on the A1 there, on that one of those minions, landing those poisons there. That was the one that she died on the first time. So now we have the, yeah, she was fine. She was about 25% HP, and she never gets lower again. That's what was happening in all the other battles. So I guess it is what it is. Sometimes you just run into the bad luck. But let's go ahead and kind of see how long it takes us and how much she's doing in how the freeze is interacting with her passives, right? So the two minions are down. There she goes on the A2. 37k, lands the decreased speed. Not the best damage. Again, this is why it takes a little bit longer when we get to Ice Golem. Would love like a Cold Heart in her place or in the place of Biggin. I guess I could probably do that. But anyway, 88k there on that shot there. Her kit is really simple, but it's really effective. And I think that a lot of you guys, especially if you're free to play, you're really going to love Dark Elhain. She will go really well with a lot of different teams, and she can fit in a number of different dungeons, as we went over when we were kind of doing the reviews on her, right? But again, you know, it's going to be about the time is going to be relatively the same as what it was when she died, I think. But either way, 30k, 21k, here comes the minions again, and we'll just kind of go through the grind here. I know 79, 63k. Not too bad. She puts out solid damage. I think that, again, I'm trying to like compare it to like a Skull Crown, you know? If you're using Skull, I think she might be, her utility is a little bit better than Skull Crown, but I don't think she's going to be hitting quite as hard. She doesn't have that unkillable. But otherwise, I still really, really like her. What do you guys think? I mean, you guys will probably are getting her soon, or some of you might already have her, or maybe you're watching this video in the future. Let me know what you think of your Dark Elhain, or just what you think of her kit based on this video. And again, 90k, that's what we're looking for. Hitting for 90k, that's what we want, basically. And there we go. Okay, so now she's starting to put out some damage here. I'll be interested to see how much she puts out when all said and done at the end of this battle. Let's see, another 91k hit there. So we're putting out some damage here. Almost dead. The poisons of Bad L are actually helping a lot, even though it's a negative affinity matchup. It doesn't really matter with Bad L. And there we go. So it's a 314 run, and she puts out 1.6 million. So look at that compared to Biggin. Biggin 1.9 in just God tier gear, and she's at 1.6 in solid gear as well. So hey, Dark Elhain, that is the guide on Dark Elhain, guys. Congratulations if you pull her, and if not, don't worry. In a few days, you'll have her, and let me know if she makes it on any of your main teams. That's what I always love hearing from you guys is, you know, you kind of have like one main team for each dungeon. Let me know if Dark Elhain is going to be on any of your main teams. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate the support, guys, and as always, take care, guys.